What's going on, Seville? I'm Lana Young, your host, and this is John M.
Hello.
Welcome back. We have a terrific guest today, Bob Chapel.
Yep.
Professor of drama at UVA and producing artistic director of the Heritage Theater Festival.
And one of our favorite people in town.
Yes. Hi, Bob.
Hi, Lana.
How are you?
Fine, good.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So, do you want to ask him the first question, or shall I? Because there's so many to ask.
I'll ask.
Okay.
You were on both coasts, New York. How'd you end up on both? Tell us your travels.
I finished my PhD at the University of Michigan when I was 29 and taught 1 year at the University of Alabama in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. I was a single person, and I realized that I really needed to try it and before I got too old. So I then went to both cities and saw how many people I knew, and I knew more people in Los Angeles. So I moved to Los Angeles, and I was there for 8 years.
Wow.
Then I was asked by the University of Michigan to come back and start a BFA in musical theater, which I did. And then I was asked by Tisch School of the Arts to come and be second in command for the MFA, and that got me to New York. And I was in 5 years in New York and met my wife, and at which point she was a fashion designer, and she was all over the world, and I was a director, and I was at Potsdam, New York, and Lahaska, Pennsylvania, and so we never saw each other. So we decided that it'd be best to go back into academe, which I did, and then moved back. And I took a job at San Diego State. So I went back to the West Coast for 2 years, and Virginia, I was directing in Virginia every summer. Started by that point for Heritage, and they got to know me and made me an offer I couldn't refuse at the University of Virginia.
And the rest is history,
that's
as they say.
20-some years ago.
And we'll be having a timeline map drawn for you so you can follow along. Right. Not really. Bob, you have performed in over 140 theatrical, performed and directed over 140 theatrical productions. Which one do you prefer?
Oh, I prefer directing.
Really?
There's no question. I haven't acted in a show in. I've acted in one show in 20 years.
Which one?
I took 2 small roles in How to Succeed in Business that I directed because I didn't have to pay anybody to do that. So that was for Heritage.
Always looking out for the budget.
A number of years ago, I did the 2 roles that the same actor always plays in How to Succeed. But I was nervous as can be every night before I went on, and said, "This is why I got out of acting."
So you got your PhD in
theater.
So what does that lead to?
It was way back. I'm old, and so it was way.
You're not
back,
as old as John, I'm sure.
So it was way back in the early 70s, and at that point, the MFA wasn't a big terminal degree. It wasn't a degree that people were getting on a regular basis. So the terminal degree, if you wanted to be a university teacher, which is what was one thing I had always thought I might want to do, was the PhD, and which is a very different thing today. The MFA really is the terminal degree to get for young people to teach at a university, and the PhD now is a totally scholarly degree where it was a much more practical degree when I got my PhD. So I directed all the time, and I acted all the time, and when I was at the university. So I had it, and knowing that I also wanted to try to work as a professional, but also knew as a little bit of an insurance.
Like a plan B.
A little plan B.
See, that's
right,
so smart.
Right.
But your plan B was in the biz. That's the smart thing.
That's right.
You know, some people
That's
go
right.
off and get, a degree in something else, and then they're not doing what they love to do.
Yeah.
We like to
and it's worked out very nicely. I've been the happiest since I've returned to academic life. It's been fabulous.
Good.
But academic life based in theater.
Right, exactly.
And drama.
Right. Yeah, I get paid to direct plays.
Amazing. I want to be like him when I grow up. Can I?
You're grown up.
Well, I'm going to ask you this question because I want to make sure that our viewers understand the difference between the Heritage Theater and the Culbreth. Because there's a big difference. One is an actual physical space.
Right.
Right? Okay, so.
Yeah, I mean, the Culbreth Theater is where the Heritage Theater Organization Festival presents its plays. The Culbreth Theater was named after the Culbreth family. there's a portrait of Mrs. Culbreth in our lobby, and it was built inside the drama building, along with our small black box theater, the Helms Theater. And so yes, the Culbreth is a physical space, and the Heritage Theater is a organization.
That's wonderful.
Under the College of Arts and Sciences and the Drama Department. It's under the umbrella of those organizations.
At UVA.
At UVA.
And the Heritage, I'm sorry, John,
That's
the
okay.
Heritage, and the population of Charlottesville can audition for, is that correct?
That's correct, yes. I audition in Charlottesville every year. I then go to usually the Southeastern Theater Conference, where I see about 850 actors in 3 days.
Wow.
And I go to New York sometimes and Washington sometimes. And then I have on my computer, I have a list of about 1,000 actors that I've worked with that I look to see, is there someone I can just pick up the phone and offer a role to, which I do.
That's a great place to be for an actor.
Yeah, sure. And I do that relatively often. And then I also go to Elon University has a fabulous musical theater program, as does the University of Michigan. And so I sometimes will go to both of those places to audition their students.
Wow.
It's,
a large pool.
A large
from
pool.
which to choose.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's wonderful. So I'm sure that people are wondering, how do you come up with your Heritage schedule?
With the season?
Yeah.
How do we select? Well, it's, Heritage was started to present American classics, hence the name Heritage. And the joke became, over the years, Heritage has been doing these plays since 1974. And the joke became, over the years, that we've run out of American classics. And we have done many at the beginning. And then I took over, and I'm a lover of musicals, and so we're doing more musicals than they did in the past, and the audiences are loving that we're doing more musicals. And they do flock to see, the musicals are always the biggest draw.
Yeah, they really do.
Yeah, they do. And so it's become very apparent, and I've had, one of my favorite stories is we did Glass Menagerie a number of years ago, and it was quite a good production, and I had people coming up to me in the lobby saying, "Why do you do plays we have to think about in the summer?" and so...
We wonder why reality TV is so popular.
Yeah, right. So it's really become pretty clear that our audiences, for the most part, not everybody, but some people have told me that they'd like to have some serious stuff. But we've tried that, and the serious things have not sold well, and we have to pay the bill. So I'm trying always to do very good, wonderful musicals and comedies, pretty much. Now, that's kind of the way things have evolved. And they don't have to be American, They have, we've done a number of shows now that are not necessarily American.
Well, that's smart. That's supply and demand, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's what people want.
Yeah, and as long as I think we're doing, good, and many of them are thought-provoking shows, so it's not like we're doing just pablum.
Right,
So,
right. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
What are your goals for the drama department and also your personal life? I don't know whether they cross over.
Well, my goal is to live long enough to retire. No, I think that I hope that the drama department keeps flourishing, and I think it has over the years, and that our programs remain strong, both our graduate and our undergraduate programs remain strong. And I was chair for 15 years of the drama department and stepped down 5 years ago. But I'm still, have a vital role to play in the drama department. And so I'm hoping that we continue to, attract very, very good students and keep it about the size that it is. And we do need to increase faculty. I'm hoping that the dean is watching right now to get that message. So I'm just hoping that we remain strong and respected. I think we are. We're never going to compete with Yale or NYU or the New York schools, or just because they are the pinnacle. But we are a fine drama department, I think, at one of the great universities. So.
Absolutely.
So as a teacher, you're getting your students up before you auditioning. Mm-hmm. What do you tell them as they're getting ready? I mean, how does that go?
Well, you prepare. I teach a class in musical theater performance, for instance, and we have a whole unit on auditioning, so we really talk about what do you wear, what do you who do you look at, what material do you do and what material do you not do, etc. So, and then we have another class that also deals with auditioning that another teacher teaches, and so I think they're all pretty ready for what they're what they're ready. But you tell them, be absolutely prepared. Do pieces that are close to your age.
Smart.
Don't sing People unless you can sing it better than Barbra Streisand.
Smart.
I mean, there's certain do's and don'ts that you have to talk about. More than anything, being friendly and being yourself and being really prepared.
Do you, we have so many questions. Do you think that it helps or hinders their audition doing it in front of you? Or makes them complacent at all?
It never hinders it, I don't think, no. I think that, actually there's an added thing that I know them, or many of them. And so I've seen them do other things besides just that audition. And so that helps them, I think.
Good, yeah.
Or if they're not very good, that hurts them.
Right.
So.
Has that process changed through the years?
The audition process continues for odd infinite. It's the same as it's always been. I mean, if somebody can come up with a better way to cast shows, let me know.
I know. I'd love to.
We all hate auditions.
I know.
Yeah.
The directors hate them as much as the actors, I think.
I'd love another way.
Yeah.
But so tell our viewers where they can find out about your season.
Sure. Well, we'll be announcing our season very shortly, probably, and we'll do a press release in the Daily Progress, probably, in all the newspapers, local, and then we'll be sending out brochures in the spring, and so they'll find out then about that too. But they can also go to our website, and it'll be up on our website, which is hrt. You can go to the drama, Virginia/drama.edu, and they'll be able to find out all about Heritage on the UVA Drama site.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Excellent. One quick question before we go.
Yeah.
If you were going to do one more role,
If I were to do one, you mean as an actor?
yeah.
Well, Willie Loman was asked.
I knew you were going to say that.
Was supposed to be a small guy, a little guy, as opposed to Lee J. Cobb, who got the role, And so I don't know, but there are certain. Now I'm getting to a certain age where there are some really wonderful classical roles that would be really fun to try.
So you might be treading the boards again one day?
No.
All right, well, it's been wonderful having you,
Thank
Bob.
you.
You're
Bob,
doing a
thank you so
wonderful
much.
job with
Thank
theater
you.
in Charlottesville.
Thanks.
We really
Thanks.
appreciate it.
Very, very much. Yes.
Thanks so much.